Hi guys, today I wanted to show you a cool anodizing tutorial. Um, Honestly, I just leave this video right now and search up Colt's 10 out of 10 anodizing tutorial. He uses Gatorade. Gatorade's honestly the best anodizing solution. I don't know why you'd use TSP, because Gatorade's got the electrolytes and shit, so... And you can drink it afterwards. It's really a better solution than this boring shit. But I'm going to show you this shitty tutorial anyways. So, just quick rundown of how anodizing works, so you get a better understanding of what all this stuff is for, and it just helps. The more voltage is in the water means the more hydrogen leaves the water, which means there's obviously just random oxygen. So the oxygen is looking for a place to call home, man. And it finds that home in the titanium. Alright? Finds that home. And the more oxygen finds a home in the titanium, the thicker the layer is, which means that's what changes the colors. It's the refraction of light from the thicker layers. It's always handy to have a multimeter. See, you take the positive, and that fell. You take the positive, and sorry for these if these wires are confusing. I kind of fucked everything up. You put that in there, and you take the negative that fell on the ground, and you put it right there. And daddy, 70. That's not correct, bitch. Fucking goddamn fuck. There we go. Look at that, 76.4 volts from that. Always handy to have a multimeter, especially if you're using batteries. They can be really inconsistent. So yeah, another pro tip. I'm gonna give you a few tips. Okay. I'm gonna give you a few tips though. First, never use a wet workspace. I had my shoulder, resting on a bunch of wet paper towels that were under here, and this had fallen out of the aluminum foil. It had fallen out, and I was like, oh, I need to put that back. And my shoulder was resting there while I was putting that back, and since that was wet, and the negative lead was connected there, and it was touching the wet paper towels, which means it traveled there through my arm, and it hurt really bad. And that wasn't with this, it was with 111 volts. Holy shit, it hurt really bad. And it happened twice in a row. Like, it happened once, and then I was so shocked that I went to do it again. Maybe the shock made me brain dead. I was already kind of brain dead to begin with, so now I guess I'm super retarded. So yeah, it's not fun. Never use a wet workspace. Also, never, if you're using batteries especially, go for anything higher than a yellow, because this is my attempt at pink. And it's fucking terrible. It's gross. Like, it's bad. It's really bad. If you're wondering what the green stuff is, there is a blue under there. I'm soaking it in alcohol because I ran out of acetone. But there's a blue under these green spots, green spots. A nice light blue. As for the actual tinted yellow, as you can see, it turned out pretty great. It doesn't look very good when it's wet. But yeah, that's my tinted yellow. It actually looks pretty decent. These are my beater scales anyway, so it doesn't really matter how bad they look. I flip them. I don't look at them. And they're gonna look shit with all my finger oils over it anyways. Basic things that you need TSP, you need distilled water, and you need measuring cups. I like to use 1/5 TSP, a little bit less than that, but about 1/5. You want to use it until it doesn't dissolve anymore, and generally that happens close to 1/5. This container, I always like having sort of slanted walls instead of just straight up and down. It makes it easier to put the anode into it. This container holds about 1.5 liters of water, or not fully, but to the point where I think that's where I dip it in, and it's got enough of the cathode submerged. That's how much I like, so I need about 300 milliliters of TSP each time I do this. By the way, I'm getting some sulfuric acid, so if anybody wants to hook up with some TSP, I guess I'll send it to you. It's open, but it's got like 3/4 of this left. So, and I'll have the sulfuric acid in a few weeks. So, save your trip to the hardware store if you're interested in anodizing. So let me know. Yeah. So, basic thing. This is the negative. Cathode is the negative wire. You can use any metal for the cathode. It doesn't matter at all. It doesn't matter in the slightest. Once again, sorry for the confusing red wire for negative, black wire for positive. But yeah, you're going to want to go there, negative wire, however many batteries you want to here. And the anode is a bit different though. You can't use any metal for the, you can use pretty much any metal for the cathode. But the anode, you have to use non-rusting metal. Now I know what you're saying. Why do you need to use non-rusting metal? Well, let me tell you why. Remember I was talking about the oxygen loves to find a new home? Well, steel is the oxygen's sugar daddy, and he's hella rich and shit, totally ripped. So they're like, you titanium, I'm gonna go to the, I would rather go to the rusting steel instead. So fuck you, titanium, fuck you, good. That's what they do, and titanium gets really sad. So don't use steel wire unless you want a faded look, because it's going to suck the current away from the point closest, and the point farthest away from it is going to have the most anodization. But I wouldn't really try going for a fade unless you want pain, because it takes forever, and you have to try multiple times. But yeah, I think that's everything I said. Oh yeah, but with the anode, I'm so lazy I can't go to Amazon.com, look up titanium wire, click add to cart, and spend $3 to get actual decent wire. So I wrap up aluminum foil. You can use any non-rusting metal. So aluminum works. If you're too lazy like me to buy titanium, aluminum works. Titanium, niobium, tantalum, those are the main things. For this, you can. A lot of people like to use steel and titanium for the cathode. I don't see why. But yeah, so just for that. And yeah, I hope you guys. Also, another tip: if you want to have the splotch pattern like I do, this was done by sucking up nail polish with a straw and then splurting it out everywhere. This one didn't turn out the best, but these other ones turned out much better than that one did. Too bad they have a shit color, but it doesn't matter. And yeah, that's all I can think of. So I hope you guys enjoyed my shitty tutorial. Yeah.